Hello, dark travelers. Today, we're stepping away from the ordinary reality and venturing into the shadows. Sometimes the face life shows us is just a lie we want to believe. But behind the curtain, there's an entirely different world. Today, we're going to open the door to that world. I'll tell you 3 disturbing stories inspired by real events. These aren't fiction. These are dark memories that someone really lived through, leaving a scar behind. Before you settle into bed, think twice, because tonight you might not be alone. If you're ready, take a deep breath and step into the true darkness. And before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you want to get lost together in the depths of fear. Now dim the lights and let the story begin. Story 1. Invisible Eyes. Emily lived in a quiet little town known for its tranquility. Her daily routine was simple. She would go to work in the morning and return late at night. But that Friday night, everything was different. The air was colder than usual, and most of the streetlights were out. When Emily got off the bus after work, she noticed an eerie silence in the air. There was no wind, no sound of cars, just footsteps. But the strange thing was, the sound was coming from one step behind her, as though someone was following her. She stopped. The sound stopped. She turned around, but no one was there. This wasn't the first time she had felt this way. Over the past few weeks, she'd had similar sensations, but she always blamed it on fatigue. That night, something inside Emily told her to go home quickly. But her path always led her through a shortcut by the woods. To save time, she had to take it. As soon as she stepped onto the path, things grew even stranger. The birds were silent. There was no sound of wind, only the beating of her heart and those footsteps. Getting closer, heavier, more threatening. Emily sped up. She kept walking without looking back, but it felt like someone was breathing down her neck. Suddenly, a rustling came from the bushes. She turned around, and again, no one was there, but her instinct screamed at her. Run! She started running. Her heart was about to burst out of her chest. When she reached the end of the path, she was about to take a deep breath when she saw something in the tree by the side of the road. Eyes. 2 glowing eyes. Not human eyes, but eyes that carefully watched her. They locked with hers. And in that moment, Emily felt time stand still. Her breath was caught in her throat. Her body felt frozen. But the eyes, they kept staring without moving. Then, she screamed. How long it lasted, she couldn't remember. But when she came to, she was in front of her house. She locked the door and looked out the window. No one was there. But after that night, nothing was the same. She still sees those eyes in her dreams. And sometimes, in the middle of the night, she feels like someone is watching her through the window. Story 2. Just a Letter. Before graduating from college, 4 close friends decided to spend one last summer together. They found an old mansion hidden deep in the forest near a deserted village. The mansion had been uninhabited for years, and they could stay there without paying any rent. It seemed like an exciting and affordable getaway. The first day was perfect. The grounds of the mansion were full of flowers, and although the inside was dusty, it was sturdy. That night they lit a campfire, told stories, and laughed together. But the next day, things started to change. One of the friends found a dusty chest in the basement. Inside were yellowed papers, old photos, and a letter. The letter looked like it was from the 1800s. It began with the shaky handwriting. If you're reading this, please leave. This house is cursed. At first, they thought it was a joke. But as the letter went on, details emerged that sent chills down their spines. According to the letter, a family had once lived in the mansion. The family's young daughter would often say she was visited at night by a woman. Over time, the family members descended into madness, dying one by one. The last surviving person, the grandfather who wrote the letter, had hidden it in the basement chest. The friends tried to laugh it off, but after that night, everything changed. Doors opened and closed by themselves, silhouettes appeared in the mirrors, and the rooms grew unbearably cold. Worst of all, everyone started seeing the same woman, a woman in a black dress with long hair and a face that couldn't be seen. She always whispered the same thing. "Why did you come here?" The first one to try to leave was Sam. He tried desperately to find the car keys in the morning, but the keys were next to the letter in the basement. No one had gone down there. The mansion's sense of time felt warped. The clocks weren't moving. Phones didn't work. The four friends desperately tried to escape, but whenever someone approached the door to leave, the woman's silhouette appeared right in front of it. In the end, only one made it out. The whereabouts of the others are still unknown. The survivor later said, "I left that mansion, but a part of me stayed behind." Story 3. A cry in the dark, Sarah wanted to start a new life in the city she had just moved to. She had been living alone for a while, and this new apartment seemed like it would give her peace. The building was old, but the location was perfect. Plus, the apartment management was offering a discount on the first month's rent. Sarah jumped at the chance. But from the very first night, strange things started happening. At first, it was just small noises. Late at night, she would hear footsteps from the apartment above her, the sound of water running, faint whispers. But there was no one living in the apartment upstairs. The manager had explicitly told her so. As the nights passed, the noises grew more pronounced, especially at 3:11 a.m. Scratches like someone dragging their fingers across the wall, and the increasingly distinct sound of a woman's voice, as if someone was whispering something, but the words were unintelligible. Whenever Sarah would go in the direction of the sound, she'd find nothing, but she felt it. She was not alone. One night she decided to follow the sound. She grabbed a flashlight, walked quietly, trying not to attract attention. The less she drew attention, the better it seemed. The sounds led her to an old storage room in the back of the building. It was usually locked, but that night, it was open. As soon as she stepped inside, a cold breeze hit her face. The room was empty except for an old chair, a dusty mirror, and a worn-out child's teddy bear leaning against the wall. Just as she was about to turn around, she noticed something in the mirror. Beside her reflection, there was someone else, a woman's silhouette. Long black hair, face obscured, still as a statue. Sarah screamed and turned around, but there was no one behind her. She looked at the mirror again. This time she was alone. She rushed back to her room, turned on the lights, but the lamp blew out. The power went out. From that moment on, every night at 3:11 a.m., the woman would appear again. Sometimes in the mirror, sometimes in the window, sometimes in the corner of the room, just for a few seconds. Every time Sarah closed her eyes, a pair of eyes were waiting in the darkness. In the end, her neighbors woke up to Sarah's screams. Her door was locked from the inside. When they opened it, Sarah was gone. But on the mirror, written in fog, was a sentence. "Now it's your turn." These 3 real stories happened to ordinary people. And perhaps one day, the next could be you. If you hear a sound at night, or see something else in the mirror, or feel someone watching you, remember, real fear hides in that silence. That's when fear becomes real. Be careful not to just be a spectator. Maybe the darkness is playing with you. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and share with your dark friends. In the next episode, we'll delve deeper and uncover even more secrets. The darkness is getting closer, and with every step, it's becoming more dangerous. May the night be with you, and before you close your eyes, think twice.